So hello, to you, my one audience member right now, and to everyone on YouTube who might see this. Uh, this is me, uh, Bravo Jazzy. Uh, so, as the title may have told you, I am going to be playing the cleaner and hopefully submitting a speed run for it. Uh, yeah, I halt a lot. So, this is also going to be a bit of a an explanatory video with some theory crafting in it. Uh, I had sort of a speech about how I like watching speed running, but I don't have the wherewithal or whatever. Um, anyway, let us begin. Yeah, that takes a minute to a few seconds to show up. My speedrun time is listed here as 8:28. That does not, but the clock does not count time between finishing a level and starting the next level. The official time is continuous from beginning, from when the timer first shows up to when the timer last disappears. So, since this is going to be an explanatory video, I'm going to start. Through the beginning, I guess. This game was created by Ben Yahtzee Croshaw, internet personality, you may have heard of him, as part of his Dev Diary show. He challenged himself to create 12 games in 12 months, and he did it. And there's a season 2 just starting where he's focusing on one game for months, for however many months. But anyway, this is one of the 12 games that he did. Yeah, you can download it free from itch.io. And now I'm not being indecisive about whether to start with the tutorial or with level 1. Level 1, I guess. You got enough idea of the story. Yeah, the tutorial level takes place in sort of a virtual reality. I don't need to explain the controls, and that's why I didn't. I do need to master the controls, though. guess what we're doing. Okay, so the path I've settled on for this room to start is vacuum up this side, mop the entire floor, and then vacuum up this side, preferably ending somewhere around here, because this position is good for what we're about to do, and that means the breeze block, cinder block, ends up right here. Anyway, we're not going to put the cinder block anywhere. We're just going to... And the points in the upper right are a timer. The better job you do cleaning a room, the more points you have to and okay, the more time you have to get rid of the evidence. Before the first time I played this, I thought I would be able to I thought I'd be able to handle switching between arrow keys for the bin and WASD for the titular cleaner, but it doesn't work quite so easily. So I'm probably not going to be number one on this game. Now, one thing you'll notice is that my mop is now completely white, and I have so Anyway, for this level, theory crafting was that I might not have to clean up anything except on the top edge of the room, and I would be able to kill my target before he reached this spot. Now he's going to travel back and forth along the middle of the corridor-shaped room, and well, so, one thing players have to be careful of is moving themselves into the same spot as the bin, because it is difficult to because that gets you stuck in place. Another thing, though, is moving the bin at the same time as you're firing garbage into it. See, that should have just bounced off the bin, but it was moving. But the bin was moving, so it didn't register. Anyway, 23 seconds. That isn't really a lot of time. That's something like what a really good speedrunner could use if they got their target into an optimal position. So as an amateur, I have to go for something like 40 odd seconds. Anyway, this is actually 30 seconds seems to work too, but I tend to miss walk cycles and that was unanticipated. Anyway, one thing I've seen neglected in the very few speedruns I've seen, apparently because it's hard, is fast travel on the mop. You switch to the mop, you press space to use, you push a direction, and then tap control, and you don't have to touch anything except to avoid walls. Because that breaks your speed and your cruise position. Yeah. Well. So, I did just finish complaining about a lack of, a relative scarcity of speedruns. I'm trying to fix that here, and I have an idea or two about that. It is absolutely not necessary to kill this guy. However, you can kill him, so I'm going to explore that here. First of all, keep an eye on the number 15 for the number of points here. I am now at negative 16 points. That can be counteracted by cleaning up this body too, but it only really gets you back up. You only really break even if you kill the witness and clean the witness. And actually, here's how the witness behaves. For example. Huh? Okay, that's odd. Let's demonstrate that again. Now, fortunately, we don't have to go through all the dialogue again, but okay, the weird thing here is that our target doesn't notice the body part that we're holding in front of him. However, does notice it when it's in the air. So, couple suggestions. One thing that the game could use is more categories of speedrunning. One would be killing absolutely everyone, not just the intended targets. That would bring us up to 9 kills. Another is like that, but either the witness or the target sees you and gets ready to report your crime, but you kill him before that can happen. And yet another, I think I'll save the description for the last level. Let's see if I can be interesting here. There is no genocide run on speedrun.com yet for the cleaner, and that's a little surprising. Yeah, that's more than enough. Okay. That was weird. I guess I have to put the bin on the bottom, on this line, to be sure of hitting him. Also gotta make sure that the block doesn't get blocked. Oof. Before I forget, complete lack of sirens here. I did that because it amused me. Okay, so both these characters go around the room because it's one loop with an alcove to the north and an alcove to the south. So far, I've found that this side of the room is better for my runs, for my speed runs, because that is lined up better. But okay. What you want to do for this, for earning points, is prioritize the. Oh, I got caught on there. That's a demonstration of something I mentioned earlier. Anyway, prioritize these little things. Coffee cups and such. You'd think the big bags of garbage would get priority, but well, no. Turns out not to be the case. I saw the witness freeze down here on one of my playthroughs. Haven't been able to recreate it, or at least notice it. Don't know how it happened in the first place. So, not going to kill every witness just yet. This is not the speedrun mode. There's even less getting in the way on the speedrun mode. All right, this one's really convoluted. The witness takes a figure 8 path around the room. And the target meanders around the lower half of the room. Smiley face shape, I guess. From here over to here and back again. But there is something interesting about that setup. there's a breeze block here, and there's a corridor down here. So early in the right when you begin the level, you can punt that down here, maybe kill the witness too, maybe not, and save a couple seconds. I have not seen that on the few other speedruns of this that I've found. Anyway. Probably wanna... And we have no suction. That's a thing that happens. You also want to dip your mop in the... Did my frame rate dip here? Anyway, you also want to dip your mop in the bucket occasionally because if you saturate it with too much coffee or blood, you end up spreading the mess around. There we go. Now 32 seconds is more than enough on this level because we have a good spot. When our target goes here, Okay, I guess we're waiting again. But anyway, sometimes the target occupies this spot. And that is a corner, which is really helpful. Really keeps the mess contained. And don't worry too much about... worry about that, but don't worry too much about the alarm if you're any good at this. If there's one thing I remember from speedrunning, it's that if you can reliably cut corners and choose not to, you're kind of leaving time on the table. Money on the table is the usual expression. The name of this game is The Cleaner. By Ben Yahtzee Crosha. I don't remember what his itch.io account is, but he's on the Escapist magazine, and videos of the game are in the Dev Diary series, and he you're a fan of his stuff. Okay. Simplifies things a bit. Just didn't know about the game. That's DEV Diary. I know that his itch.io account has Y and Z in it, but well, back to the game. Hopefully doing it right. I'll say once again that depending on your skill level, the timing of the loop will be a little different for your speed run. And that means the other alcove may be better for you. And level 6 is the last level. You'll see why I did that in a moment. Nothing to this side. And over here. Yeah. So, normally we'd clean up this body and then use this cinder block on our target. But we don't really need to do all that. Funny thing about killing the man. If I set one body part aside, then I don't really need to pick up that block as you would expect. Oh, also, you can't get any closer to NPCs than this. Not unless they're moving around. Anyway, in a speed running context, this would save you a trip. And I'm giving away these secrets because A, I can't use them, and B, I do want to see them in a speed running context. Alright, here we go. Yeah. So, so 40 points if you, 6th game in his 12 games in 12 months challenge. Well, thanks for coming. I think I'll cut the recording here.